Hi all, and welcome back to my very new channel. This is just my third vlog. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to be here. So today I just wanted to take you through what I keep in my little stationery pouch, my little essentials pouch, and maybe if we have time, do a flip through of my brain. So I'll just pop this aside for now. So I use a little Hobonichi pouch by Hiroko Kubota. I love this design and the way it looks like the Northern Lights. I think it's quite beautiful and a little bit magical. I don't believe I carry much in my pouch. I just keep the bare essentials and the things that I use all the time. So if we open it up, I'll show you. It looks quite big, but really it's not. This is it. Not much at all. So I keep very simple Staedtler eraser. I think this one's fantastic. My daughter, who is an artist, swears by these, and I have to agree with her, they're excellent. They can get a little bit pilly, as you can see, but that's okay. I keep a very simple Dotliner. I picked this one up in Japan at Hands, and they did blind bags, which I thought was really cool. So I got two, and I came away with this one as well as this one, and I love these so much. I just find they stick so well. They're an essential to me. So this comes everywhere with me. I also have a Nyanko adorable little pair of scissors. I love these scissors. I love them for two reasons. Oh, if I can open them. They're tiny, they're sharp, but mostly I love them because the little paw pads actually feel a little bit like kitty paws, and I just find it so adorable and tactile. Sometimes I just kind of sit here and rub them and I feel like I'm rubbing kitten paws, and I feel like I'm quite knowledgeable when it comes to kitten paws because I'm a veterinary nurse, so I've touched many a kitten paw in my life, and this feels really, really good. I also carry just a Traveller's Company brass ruler. I really like brass rulers. I like the patina, it's starting to develop. I haven't had this for very long, but I prefer it over plastic, and I think this is my favourite ruler so far. So I probably could see myself getting another one in the future to keep as a spare because I like to have spares. I keep a very basic Staedtler traditional HB pencil. I think HB is the best pencil. I've tried many others, but I always go back to a HB. I like to write things in grey lead first, and then I'll go over them. Because of the way my mind works, I just find it easier for me if I have a backup plan, and my backup plan is always writing in grey lead and then covering or copying over in fine liner. I carry two fine liners. These are just Kuretake Mangakas. I love these. I carry a medium if I want to do some headings and borders. And I carry a 1mm. And these are perfect for me, and I find they sit really well in my hand and they're very comfortable. I have tried fountain pens, but I always find myself going back to these particular pens, so I do have quite a few of them because I never want to run out. I also carry a couple of ballpoints, just the Uniball ones. I love these two because they've got books and tea, coffee and cake, and really, who doesn't love books and who doesn't love coffee and cake? And I think the colours are quite adorable as well, so I always carry these. Swap them over now. And like most journalers, I carry a whole bunch of Mildliners in a range of different colours. And basically every month I just like to pick out a new colour, a new couple of colours, and pop them in here, and these will be the ones I use for the month. Or sometimes if I feel like a change, I'll change them up weekly. So as you can see, I don't really carry a lot, but I carry everything I need. There is usually always a cream correction tape in here as well, but it has gone walkabout, and I wonder if I've popped it in the drawer or one of my kids have walked off with it, which I think, judging by what I can't see in the drawer, my kids have stolen it. So there goes that. But yeah, this is my journal essentials pouch, everything I carry with me, and this will probably be exactly what I take when I go overseas. I might just change out the colours and take this with me. It's all I think I'm going to need, and I'm going back to Japan, so really if I feel like I need anything, I'll be in the perfect place to get it. I love this case. It's just the perfect size for me, and it's not too messy, it's not too overwhelming. Everything is in its place, and it works so well on you. So if you don't have a Hobonichi pouch, I totally recommend you get one because it's an excellent investment and it's beautiful. Now, onto my at-home brain. I picked this up in Traveller's Factory at the airport. I was lucky enough I got to visit twice. The first time when I dropped my parents off at the airport when they were returning to Melbourne, and the second time when I was leaving Narita going to Melbourne. So when I went the first time, they only had this particular cover available. They didn't have the passport cover. And I spoke to the staff and she said she wouldn't know if it would be in stock, when it would be in stock. However, 2 weeks later when I left Japan, I was very lucky and the smaller cover was also in stock. So I really had FOMO. Like I was so stressed that I wasn't going to get it. And I was so thankful when I got there and they had it. So I love both the covers, but this is the one I chose to use for my at-home planner. This is very much just my at-home planner. I don't take this anywhere with me, but I still wanted it to have beautiful things inside it because it makes it so much more enjoyable to use. Of course, I've got a pencil board, and in here I keep just some Midori stickers that I have been using just because I like to write down the temperature every day as a little log for myself, because I am a winter person and I like to see how long it takes for summer to end and winter, the colder weather to start, because I can't cope with summer. It's just not for me. I also carry these cute little notepads just because it's got beautiful shiminagas on it. And I have a canvas pouch with just a little Traveller's Factory pencil set in it, just because I love small things and it's adorable. This card pocket has been a point of contention in my life because I want to use it, but I don't use it. So I think today is the day that it's going to come out, and until I find a use for it, it's just going to be put aside into my stash. My diary is very simple. I just used the stickers that 2026 planner came with, and I was happy to do that. And inside I've just got some of my favourite foods from Japan and this washi tape I picked up at Ghibli Park. My planner is very boring. It's set out in a way that's really easy for me to use. So on one half it's just my very normal gym, work, gym. So I know what I'm doing that day. And on this side, I try and keep all the appointments and other things I've got to do with family, swimming, fun scrub day, you know, it'll be Easter Monday in a couple of days. Also, if we do anything interesting, spend time with family, I also like to pop it in here as well. This side is what I use to keep all my notes, everything that I've got to do that week, and my little weekly goals, as you can see there. I've been on a health kick for a very long time, 4 years, and I have been losing weight for a while. So I always like to have a little goal in mind of the weight I'd like to be that week. It doesn't always happen, but that's okay. We start fresh next week. We don't beat ourselves up here. We accept that things are not linear, and that's okay. I'll record my starting weight just so I know where I'm at and anything I've got to do that might be important. So lodge payments, appointments that I might forget about, things that are upcoming in the following week so I can get ready for them. And again, habits. Habits are important to me. And as you can see, it's just gym, steps, work, and my daily vitamins, because I sometimes forget to take my vitamins and they're important. I also like to write down my purchases every week so I can see where my money's going. And underneath Kiki over here, Gigi, all my bills that I have to pay. I'm a very visual person, and I'm a person who needs a list. So if I don't write that bill down, I'll forget about it and it will not get paid. So the best thing I can do for myself is just have my bills written every week. And so as soon as I open this on payday, which is a Wednesday, I know, yep, pay, done. The rest is fun money. So I've really been enjoying this diary. This is my first time using my Travelers as an actual, I like to call it my at-home brain, and it's really working for me. So I hope this is something I can continue to do in the future and can continue to do for years. It's nice to have everything just set out somewhat neatly and just know, yep, that's my week. I've got a weekly overview. It's perfect. I tried the same in a passport size and I just found it wasn't enough room for what I needed it to be. So I'm looking at turning my passport size into a monthly overview that I can glance at to see what's coming up that month. And it goes into here week by week. Aside from that, I have this note from a purchase I made just because I like handwritten notes. But aside from that, there's not a lot else going on in here. I just have my stickers, and then this is just some ephemera from Japan, and I think that is a Shinkansen receipt. Yes, it definitely is. One thing that I was lucky enough to do in Japan was when I went to Kyoto Travelers Factory, you were able to have a pen engraved, and I was so excited to do it, and I think it was about 38 Australian dollars or 4,000 yen, is that right? Yes, about 4,000 yen. So it wasn't 4,000 yen. So it wasn't overly expensive, and I definitely wanted to do it. However, I went completely blank and I did not know what to put on the pen. So I ended up with Kyoto 2025. And now that I look back on it, I really wish I had have had some inspiration and something had have come to me and I could have put something else. But I love this pen. I did get it in Kyoto. It was 2025. So 2 things are true. And I won't forget because I was there with my son and we decided to walk there thinking it would be a quick 20-minute walk, and it took us 40 minutes and it was very hot. And then the poor bugger was patiently sitting outside while I shopped and had this made. So, however, it's not exactly what I wanted it to be. It still has very fond memories attached to it. So I'm really, really thankful for it. And it does make me smile when I look at it because I just remember my 11-year-old son just sitting there with his hand on his face, just like, come on, Mum, what could you possibly be doing in there? So I'm going to love this forever. And maybe one day I'll give it to him and say, remember when this happened? But aside from that, we did have lots of fun because where the Kyoto Travelers is located, there's lots of other cool shops. And we discovered beams. So we had a good time in beams, buying some bits and pieces. Lastly, July, August and September are coming really soon. So I thought we could decorate this together. you know, maybe I will get some internet inspiration. I'd like to use these stickers to decorate. I already know that I want this to go here. I'm not going to put a pocket on this cover like I did here because I found, though I love it, I didn't really use it that much, and it can get a bit, sometimes it feels a little tacky on the inside, and like whatever you pop in there is going to get stuck. Hold on, let me have a look. Maybe I'm wrong. This is just from my Eric. Oh, actually, no, that feels okay. Maybe I should have used it a little bit more. But anyhow, you live, you learn. So this time I'd like to just use some traveller stickers and just have a little hodgepodge. I like when there's no rhyme or reason to the way you do things. So let's go for it. I had been decorating this off because I just simply didn't know if I was going to stick, oh, of course it's wonky, if I was going to stick to using this layout, but I love this layout. I did buy both the monthly and the weekly. Sorry about the noise, there's a few kids riding their bikes past the house. But this works really well for me, and I just find it so easy to maintain. And you know, journaling and diarising things should be fun. It shouldn't be a chore. As soon as it becomes a chore, you don't want to do it anymore. So, and this doesn't take a lot of my time as well. I just pop my week together and write everything in. The hardest part really is, if I have to be honest, deciding the theme I'm going to use every week, because every week I like to use a new theme, whether it's cats, books, coffee, you know, it's always something. So that's the hardest part of this, and that's really enjoyable. So I think this time we are going to layer some stickers, and maybe not go over the top with it though. I say before I go over the top with it. I really like the Traveller's Spirit, so this can go on somewhere. I'm going to pop this in the top corner. I try to have the approach less is more, because I find that I'll start decorating something and I won't hold back, and then I'll be like, oh goodness, I've ruined it. So whenever I think I want to add one more, I stop before I add that one more, because otherwise I know I've added too many. I might pop this on just over here. Just, oh no, there. And I'll pop my name there, I think. Everything's wonky, but that's okay. We are not looking for perfection. We want happiness. And I never knew anybody who was perfect and happy. I like this as well. And I think I'd like to do one or two more. I think I'm going to go this one here. I should really be using my stick tweezers, but we're almost done now, so no point stressing about it. And I don't know if I want that, or maybe we can do both and just throw caution to the wind. Let's do both and throw caution to the wind. So we'll do that like that, and we'll do this perhaps like this. And I don't think I want to add anything else, because less is more, and that's kind of teetering on the edge of both. Now I'll just grab a excellent pen and write my name. And again, I'll go back to a mangaka. I write on the side, so here we go. Beautiful. I'm really happy with that. Thank you. If you stuck around, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm really new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. So any thoughts, any criticisms, I will gladly take them. Constructive criticisms. I will gladly take constructive criticisms. I hope to build a community of people who just want to chat about the things that make them happy. It doesn't necessarily have to just be journaling or stationery. Whatever sparks your fire, I'm happy to hear about. I would love it if you liked. And if you're interested in staying around for more, subscribed, but please don't feel pressured. I wish you a wonderful week. I wish you an excellent weekend, and I wish you an amazing cup of coffee. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.